strength, and honor.
That still may charge in. That smell everywhere. I need to get closer. Can't cast that yet. That's still recharging.
How? Speak. Drink. Loktar. Spring. Thrallhall. Graw. Be safe. What can I help you with? Loktar. For the Horde. Speak, friend. What do you need? Be safe. McGraw. Strength.
put a lot of money into something, made a lot of money, and then put a lot of money into the next thing, which
Yeah, that's the thing I've always
helpful in
admired
some
about
ways.
him, that he will put his he will bet the farm on something that he believes in. He is not drawing a salary in the conventional like I watched a video that was basically, I think it might have even been recommended in our comments of in a prior episode, that was a look at the difference between Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, where Elon Musk basically has leveraged his total potential net worth in the future success of Tesla, because as such he has no salary. In stark contrast to Jeff Bezos. I find it all just fascinating. There's no moral judgment for me on that one way or the other. I thought it's possible that he made more in a day thing was predicated on the fact that he draws no salary from Tesla. So it's not even, if he'd made $100, he would have made more from Bitcoin than from Tesla.
It says
in other words,
he made an estimated
the veracity of the
$1
claim may
billion.
be technical.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just simply pointing out that it might be kind of, the truth of it is dependent on a kind of technicality more than...
I also think that if, let's say he gets
perception.
$1 billion, right? And then he takes that and he goes and he builds state-of-the-art, across the globe, orphanages, and provides clean water to third world countries and does all this stuff. Is it still the worst system imaginable? Or is it...
Bitcoin.
I'm just saying, period. You're like, any system that would allow for someone to have that much profitability in a single day like that can't be good.
That's not my argument for why it's not good. My argument for why it's not good is that it creates that value in a way that's dangerous on a worldwide scale.
But it also provides the opportunity.
I'm going to
so
let
it's
you
not,
in on...
the system is
it didn't
agnostic
provide
of good
anything.
and bad.
Sorry, to be clear, there were the same number of people available to build that orphanage before and after the Bitcoin trade happened. The money is the methodology by which people came together to do a thing, but the money itself is not ethically or morally good in this, based on what it's spent on.
I agree.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying by that.
There was
You're
no
saying
more.
those people
There was
existed.
no more good. There was no more availability or opportunity for that thing to occur because the money existed.
We just were able to pay for it. So it's still
Right,
the same
but-
system has to be applied to these people going.
But the relative value of everything else went down. It's like if you've got if you've got a bowl of water and you've got to share it between 5 people.
Okay.
If you give more of that water to one person, everyone else has a bit less, right?
Sure.
That's ultimately how economics works. Money's a way of kind of checking how
That's not
much
right.
you have relative to other people.
Yeah,
You can't. Money
economics
doesn't
is not
add
a zero-sum
value.
game. Wealth is created, and it is definitely not. There's not a finite amount. If that were true, then we
In what
still...
way do you mean, though? Like gold being dug out of the earth, or
No, because it ultimately falls on what value people ascribe to. It's just like our stock market conversation, where if I have this and I think it's worth $1, but you really want it and decide it's worth $5, you have created wealth by finding this thing valuable, and my willingness to trade it with you.
We've just taken a mug and moved it from one person to another. No value has been increased through that process.
If the value of this goes up, then value is created.
No, because you took more from me as a result of that value going up in my perception. So I gave you, I swapped you this fidget toy and this other fidget toy. I have so many of these because of how my brain works. I'm sorry. But these things, right? If I was like, you know what, that red cup is only worth 1 fidget toy, and you were like, actually, it's a really good cup, and I was like, okay, fine, 2 fidget toys, and you said, cool, it's worth that, and I give you the 2 fidget toys, and I take back the cup. There's still only a cup and 2 fidget toys. It just matters whose hand the things are in.
I agree that in
No
a
value's
person
been
to
created from that transaction.
a person to person
word.
a
It's not
person
value.
a person to person transaction may in fact be zero sum, but economies at large are definitely not.
Like jobs being
Unless you're
created.
digging
Is that-
gold out of the ground or having children or like
Well,
All of
there's
which
a number-
happens. Those things happen.
but not because of money.
No, I never
like
said
the-
because of money. I'm just saying, if the world were zero sum, then the economic state of the world would be identical to when we were
The
cavemen.
world is literally zero sum unless a meteorite lands on it. Like we have like a finite amount of resources.
Okay, yes, but
and-
that is true technically speaking. Although the resource consumption, depending on the resources, we're so nowhere near the the
I'll give you sunlight. Sunlight is a resource that comes in, actually.
That's a finite and
dreams.
exhaustible source.
yeah, well,
And
exactly.
of course, that is also finite.
That's what I mean.
My point is that Elon Musk being richer doesn't make the Earth richer as a result of that, or even if he builds
of course, I have no disagreement with that. That's not what I'm saying.
This is fascinating perception because you're absolutely. I see what you're saying, where it's like we're not creating water, right?
I mean, I might. It's been a long call. Afterwards, I think I'll go create some water.
I'm with you, actually. I'm with you on that one right now. I got a real biological
I
clock
apologize, Troy,
ticking.
you're making a good point. No, water transfers around the planet, yeah. There's no new water being made. Except through chemical reactions, where the water is being created as the outcome of a chemical reaction, but then it's still coming from the constituent
Other things that
elements.
are
You can
I
find
agree.
in
Recycle.
matter
If you take it to the like, yes, there is only
the Earth
one
weighs
universe.
the same now as it weighed. I don't know if this is true. 20,000 years ago, a million years ago, a billion years. We're the same amount of matter floating around the sun now.
This is such
as
a
we
like
were.
reductio ad absurdum,
I
though. Like,
love
The
this
weight thing
conversation
can't
so
be
much.
true.
What?
I think it might be, unless we
we do blast off atmosphere into space because
are
of,
blasting off atmosphere, so that would ruin the whole argument. You're absolutely right.
Let's stay
You're right.
adults, guys.
Atmospherics
Come
would
on.
we are not
break
a closed system. Even just the
Further and
Earth
further out.
radiates radiation. Well, that's the thing. That's
Well,
what I
put it
mean.
this way,
Like,
there's no new
episode of
atmosphere
Play Watch
coming
Listen
in
where
because someone
everybody
got
got
rich.
real high.
Yes. That's what we cut out earlier when we did that big cut and I had a red
If
face.
you want to
We
know
all
what
did
it
some
looks
drugs.
like
That's
for
what
the
this
four
is.
of us to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
stoned together, this is pretty much it.
No, my Earth mass argument is flawed, but in terms of well, it's bollocks. That's why it's flawed. But the point remains that the movement of finances around the planet does not have any impact on the value of the objects and the world and the people on the planet.
Now let's talk about time. What is it? Is time real? Is time?
well, look, I am in no small part due to the aforementioned biology. I'm being perhaps quick and messy, and I'm also not an economist, as has been repeatedly stated.
No one thinks
but,
you are.
Yeah, surely
None of
not.
us are coming across like economists. Right?
The comments
For
will
various
undoubtedly
reasons.
reflect it, but I do think that one can discuss the non-zero sum nature of markets without having to go to the reductio ad absurdum of there's only one universe, there's a finite number of atoms in the universe. Like,
Well, we were talking about value creation via Bitcoin. That's where we started with this many years ago, and that is an argument that is about literal using Earth resources to generate cash value, and it, by my definition, that is simply a reduction of Earth resources. That is not a production of new value. That's why we went there, was
Yeah.
because we were talking essentially
And-
about a very simple transaction between.
fair enough.
Can I get one word in?
Well,
And what you
Value.
just- and what you-
Rich.
Now let's talk about
I'll-
Jesus.
I'll just add, and then I'm going to shut up for the rest of the
Alana, we can
episode.
see the floor.
I just will say what you just said about specifically Bitcoin and the use of that, I find, again, while bathed in ignorance about Bitcoin and how it works, I find what you say very agreeable intuitively. Nothing about what you're saying strikes me as wrong. I just don't see it as emblematic of the issue with markets conceptually. But that's
I don't have a problem with markets conceptually, ultimately. Like, my problem is with Bitcoin specifically.
Yeah, well, it sounds like I probably would agree with you. Okay, I'm going to be quiet. Alana, go ahead.
Really interesting thing about value, which has been particularly fascinating where cryptocurrency is concerned, is that somebody just saying something about cryptocurrency can influence the value of cryptocurrency. So like when Kim Kardashian, or maybe it was Kylie Jenner, one of those lot, tweeted something about Bitcoin,
We are living in a simulation, if that is a fact.
it increased. And there was
It did massively.
I guess like a 10% drop recently, and it was just because, and this is a CNBC business article saying they believe the reason that it recently dropped is just because Elon Musk tweeted saying that said BTC and ETH do seem high, which is Bitcoin and Ethereum. and so the price has dropped. I think that it's also
That-
like implied in here that the recent spikes are because
that's weird
Elon
that he
Musk
would
has been
tweet
talking
that
about
if
it.
massively invested.
That's the thing is one thing
That's
that I
not
find
great business person.
wild
right?
about it is that
you
if
think
you
he'd just shut up
exactly
about it.
if you want them to, like, he's been tweeting all this Dogecoin stuff to the extent that I was reading a business analyst article that thinks that Dogecoin is protected because it has a meme shield. People will not oversell because they think there is a shield on owning this particular coin because there's a meme around it created by Elon Musk. So he has infiltrated the cryptocurrency market to such an extent that he can control how much money
control currency.
what he's bought.
Is he really
Staking.
smart or really stupid? I can't work out which one that is, because that seems really smart on some level.
He
but
would have
also
lost money by
really
tweeting that.
Not smart.
It was an 8% drop.
Very weird.
Maybe it was
I feel
a-
like
maybe
he
it
must
was a
be
drunk
playing
tweet.
three-dimensional chess in some way. Or
It's
maybe drunk.
wild.
Yeah, maybe-
That's the
maybe
thing
wanted
that
to
gets me
buy
about
more.
Bitcoin is that just by the right people talking about it, you will
But that's
make
true of
more
all
money.
stocks, for the record.
That's
like
also
that, like
true.
I used to watch my 90-year-old cousin when I would go over to her apartment for dinner in New York when I lived there. She became this obsessive day trader as like a way to kind of occupy her mind. And so she would watch like CNBC for like 4 hours straight and watch all these financial analyst shows with like Jim Cramer and people like that, Larry Kudlow, et cetera, et cetera. And those guys on those programs were always very keenly aware that when callers would call in and say, hey, I got a question about such and such stock, it's like the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. By virtue of them having a conversation about it on their widely watched TV program, they in the evaluation of its value, they will impact its value, and
What do you
they're
think
all
we've
too aware of
impacted
that.
today?
We've changed games forever.
I tell you what, I think we'll have some comments on this
might
one.
have a
I can tell you that I can tell you I'm this close to generating business for a kidney specialist.
Hell
So
yeah.
I that might be my way of saying
2 hours
love
later,
to you all.
let's wrap it up here.
I don't know how you still have a job now, Alana. I think that they fired you.
Yeah, I've been fired for these 2 hours. It's done for me. Thank you all for watching. We are not experts. We just like talking to each other about things.
We are scientists, though.
Apparently,
Goddamn right we are, because we can do experiments.
I do love this. I do love this because Bitcoin in particular, since it's something that I always, every time it comes up, I go, I should someday learn more about that. And my days are too full, and I keep kicking it down the road. So I
I've written
appreciate
many
you
an essay about
disabusing
it
me.
if you would like to see them. I used to cover cryptocurrency at IGN.
Please.
Boring.
It's hard to make that stuff interesting, if I'm being honest. It's difficult to do.
End it. That's the ending. That's the perfect ending.
Genuinely. See you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Got steel recharge in. That's stupid, John. That's that yet. I need more mana. Not enough mana. My mana is low. That's stupid, John. That's stupid, John. Cast that yet. God still recharging.
Brawl Hall. What do you need? May your blades never run.
God still recharging. I'm out of reach. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't carry anymore. Yeah.
I have just the thing for you.
What do you need? What are you looking for? Sub. Loktar, friend. What is it you wish? Loktar. Makra! Zug. Victory! For the Horde!
Loktar.
Welcome to Orgrimmar. Have you come to serve the Horde?